Welcome to What If. Today, we plunge into the darkest nightmare lurking within the DC Multiverse. What if the very embodiment of hope itself descended into madness? What if Barry Allen, the Flash, decided that the only way to fix the world was to erase it at light speed? Many believe Superman stands as the most catastrophic force if corrupted, but the truth cuts far deeper. If we extrapolate Flash's power to its logical extreme, virtually no one in the universe could stand against him. If Flash willed everyone dead, anyone without functional immortality would drop lifeless in an instant, before their brain could even register that the fight had begun. But before we venture into this apocalyptic nightmare, we must understand something crucial. Flash has already crossed that line. Throughout the comics, we've witnessed glimpses of what speedsters become when morality evaporates entirely. Remember, in the Injustice universe, Barry Allen stood alongside Superman's tyrannical regime, helping enslave the world entire, willfully blind to the Man of Steel's corruption. Or consider the future version of Barry Allen who traveled back in time without hesitation, brutally murdering Gorilla Grodd. And even Wally West himself to restore the Speed Force. Even the original Flash, Barry, in a moment of desperation, killed his arch-nemesis, Reverse Flash, snapping his neck with his own hands. And we cannot forget Wally West, who once, consumed by vengeance, transformed the villain Inertia into a living statue, leaving him paralyzed, yet fully conscious within the Flash Museum as a macabre trophy. One of the most disturbing acts ever committed by a hero. These are not what-ifs, they are canon. But what happens when this darkness is not fleeting, but absolute? Picture this. The sky above Central City bleeds an unnatural crimson. Not a cosmic crisis, but the Speed Force itself corrupting from within. Barry Allen has run too far, created too many timelines and temporal remnants in his desperate attempt to save others. One of these remnants survives a crisis, but upon return is rejected by everyone he loves. They see him as an aberration, a counterfeit of the true Barry. Shattered, embittered, and utterly alone, his mind fractures irreparably. He reaches a horrifying conclusion. Pain exists only for mortals, and since gods feel nothing, he must become one. His crimson suit darkens. It transforms into a scarlet black that devours light itself in its wake. Donning massive metallic armor and embracing a new title, the self-proclaimed God of Speed Savitar, Eobard Thawne, the Reverse Flash, appears before him, cackling with mad glee, believing he has finally broken his nemesis. He taunts Barry, declaring they are at last equals. But Thawne never finishes his sentence. In a nanosecond, this corrupted speedster vibrates his hand at a destructive frequency and tears through Thawne's chest, erasing him from the timeline entirely. The Justice League detects the monstrous temporal anomaly and assembles within the Watchtower. They know Flash is a threat, but they are unprepared for a speedster without conscience. Superman strikes first, rocketing toward Barry at supersonic velocity. But relativity is a cruel master. To this corrupted Barry, Clark Kent moves as if trapped in slow motion. Flash strolls casually around him. With a single touch charged with antimatter energy, he warps the Kryptonian's molecular vibration, detonating him into ash before Clark's mind can process the strike. Wonder Woman unsheathes her blade. Green Lantern conjures emerald shields. Vibe, whose powers can canonically disrupt the Speed Force itself, attempts to unleash a shockwave. It doesn't matter. Fans perpetually claim Batman could stop him with enough prep time. But the reality is merciless. Batman has zero chance against a speedster fighting to kill. In the fraction of a second it takes light to reflect in Bruce Wayne's eyes, Flash has already vibrated through the force field, ripped out Batman's heart and dismantled the entire Watchtower. There is no epic battle, only a cold and flawless execution at the speed of thought. The entire universe falls into a deafening, tomb-like silence. On Apocalypse, Darkseid himself observes in absolute terror. Realizing this speedster could cross a boom tube and annihilate his entire world in mere microseconds. Does anyone exist who could stop him? The prevailing consensus suggests only the highest-tier magic users could mount even a desperate resistance. Dr. Fate, Zatanna, the Phantom Stranger, but even magic demands thought and utterance. Flash can shred a sorcerer's vocal cords before the sound of their incantation travels through the air. He begins warping reality itself, channeling the worst iterations across the multiverse, moving as an omnipresent blur like the Flash from Kingdom Come. Wielding the brutality of Red Death, the unholy fusion of Batman and Flash, or embodying death itself after merging with the Black Racer. He has fractured the cosmic balance so profoundly that behind him, an ominous warning emerges. The Black Flash, Death's own avatar for speedsters, begins its pursuit to correct this abomination. But this dark Barry is no longer merely mortal. He does not seek dominion over worlds, she craves absolute stillness. He runs so fast, he outpaces death itself, leaving the Black Flash far behind. Vibrating through higher dimensions, untouchable, invincible, and consumed by absolute darkness. The multiverse dies in a way the gods themselves never foresaw. The question that terrorizes the supreme entities is not how to defeat him, but does anyone even exist who could react before ceasing to exist? If this nightmare at light speed left you breathless, don't forget to subscribe to What If Edition YA and smash that like button. Do you think a speedster like Wally West, who is even faster than Barry himself, or the omnipotence of Dr. Manhattan could stop this dark Flash? Or is the DC Universe hopelessly, irrevocably doomed? Drop your answer in the comments and determine the fate of our next multiversal tale. We'll see you in the next dimension, here on What If Edition YA.